Hi everybody, this will be part 4 in the Twine Interactive tutorial series. Last video we talked about how to add some more advanced functions with images. This video we're going to talk about using more complex code with the style sheet and in conjunction with tags. So a tag is a way that we can flag this passage to be used in our style sheet. It's almost like a variable. So basically what we're going to do is we want one image to come up on these first two, which is that background image we have currently loading. I want that image to come up just on the front two, and then as I go to each character I want a different background color to approach or to be visible. So we're going to switch out the background image for a background color when I go to certain subset pages. In order to do that I need to have tags. So I want to click the story start, and we'll hit the plus symbol beside tag, and we'll say, I don't know, base, right? Base background. And this is a tag that we're going to then recall in our style sheet. So we'll do base tag. We'll go to my second story passage, and we'll do plus symbol beside tag, and we'll call this one base as well. So that way we don't have to have a different tag for each one. We're going to use the same tag for that one as well. So on these two images or passages, we want to have that same background image only visible on those pages. When I go to the Ned pages, I want to add a tag that's called Ned. Okay. I'm going to go to the Bob pages and add a tag that's called Bob. You can say things like Bob tag if that's helpful for you, even though this is a tag. We're not going to do too much complexity with the code. So each one of these I'm going to do a tag that I can recall. Whoop, didn't save the one for Bob, and we'll do add, make sure Sally's is back in there, yep, and then Ned is back in there. So let's go back into the lower ones for Ned, secondary passages, and just title Ned as well. We're going to add the same tag Ned to all of the Ned pages. Ned. Okay. What's also nice is that visually for the graph in that tag you can change a color. So right now it's just basic gray, but we can say red for Ned. So any ones that have a red tag on it, let's put a red bar beside it. Bob will be blue, and Sally will be green. Okay. So that way in the tag we can also add some visual cues of what's going on to separate our individual passages as well. Alright, so what we're going to do is go to our style sheet. So we're going to go test story, edit story style sheet. And the first thing we need to do is change or add a tag to the background image that we already have there, because I only want this background image to be visible on the first two. So if you remember, we called the tag up here base. And so then in Interactive's test story style sheet, how we adjust this is by in a couple other areas of code. And what we're going to do is right after where it says TW-story, I'm going to add a straight bracket, one straight bracket, one left straight bracket, one right straight bracket. Okay. And then inside of that, I'm going to do tags, the curly Q symbol, that one right there, equal, and then two quotation marks. And then within the quotation marks, I'm going to type in that tag name. So what I've added is this section right here, straight brackets, tags, curly Q or curly symbol, equals, quotation marks, and then I've titled this one base, okay, because that's what my tag name was. So what that is going to do is just on these pages, if I go hit play now, there's my background, should stay on here. If I go to Ned, it's back to the black background because that tag was just for those two pages. So now if I come in here back to that style sheet, we can change the background of secondary pages by adding those tags. So let's start with Ned. Ned, we wanted a red background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background instead of an image to a straight flat color. And we do that by doing TW-story curly bracket we'll hit enter, background, colon, and then we'll say red. And we will do semicolon to end that line. We will return down and end that with a right curly bracket. Okay, so that is how we add a color to a background instead. Now we need to go add our tagline to this. So let's do left straight bracket, right straight bracket, go inside of that. Tags, curly symbol, enter, quotation marks, and we call this one Ned. Okay, let's make sure we capitalize the Ned tag. Yep. All right. So now if I hit play, anything with that Ned tag should now have a red background. So this page does, the buttons do as well, because those have tags of the word Ned as well. Let's go back into our style sheet. So we can recall a flat basic color, red, blue, yellow, green, or we can also find the hex value of a specific color, as long as it's a web safe color. So this next one we're going to use a web safe color with a hex code. So we'll do TW story. I'm going to go ahead and add the tag in here. So we'll do left straight bracket tags, curly, equal, quotation marks, and we'll do, what's the second one, Bob. And we'll do right angle bracket, left curly bracket, return, and we'll do background colon. Instead of a basic word like red, blue, we're going to use like a 6-digit hex code. So that would be the number sign, and it's a 6-digit one. If we do 00000, let's do semicolon, and we'll go find a specific color here in a minute. We'll go ahead and get the code in here, and we'll do right curly bracket to end this. Okay, so let's just leave that there. All right, so if I go to a new tab in Google and let's say hex color picker, if you Google search hex color picker, it'll come up with that specific color. So Bob was blue, so we're going to come in here and find like a darker blue. But if I just type in blue, it's going to be a very saturated blue. If I do the story style sheet with just a very basic blue. Okay, so I can come in here and do blue, and then let's hit play, go find Bob. I didn't actually do that right there, so we'll come back to it as well. But it'll put a blue background there. Okay. So instead, we are going to find a particular hex color. So there's our hex color. And it's a combination of numbers and letters. And I'll come in here to interactive test story in the style sheet. And instead of blue, we're going to type in, paste in that hex number. Okay, we're going to make sure this is all right because the red is right there, background. I think it all was right. Oh, nope, space right there. So let's remove that space out. Let's go test it out. So anything with Bob tagged to it, now it should have that dark blue background, the same exact color right there. So that's how we can add a, go back to this style sheet, either a flat saturated color or white or black, or we can add a specific hex color. So web safe color that we could use. So now we just need another one for Sally. So we'll do TW story, regular brackets. Let's go ahead and add our open curly bracket there. Tags, oops, curly line, equal, quotation marks, and we'll do Sally. Here we go. We'll do return, background, colon. Let's just type in green. It'll be an obnoxiously green. We'll return and then do in curly bracket. So that way we will have a separate green background for anything with Sally tag. Let's go hit play. Close this out. So our background image will only show up on the first two. And then when we go to Ned, that'll be red. Ned and red. Bob will be blue. B for blue, sure. And then Sally with green. It's not too obnoxious of a green. All right, so that's other ways that we can use the style sheet to change an image background from an image to a color. We can also use tags from an individual passage within the style sheet to change an image or a background for a specific passage. Now, that'll wrap up this video. Next video, we'll talk about how to edit and adjust text.